first row.
The Liberty opened the fourth quarter on that 7-0 run, and you guys, came together as a team and then went on a run of your own. What did you speak about in that huddle you had coming out of that timeout? And what can you say about your team's response tonight?
We just looked at each other and kind of had that look like we got this. We just kept giving each other confidence that, just settle down a little bit, one possession at a time, get what we want on offense, and just focus on defense. I just think that we all looked at each other and kind of knew like, okay, this is the moment. We gotta get better here and, stop this momentum.
Allie, did it just feel like after game 2, things just kind of clicked together where, it felt like the energy really carried over from game 2 to tonight?
Yeah, I think game 2 was a reminder of, how hard it is to get a playoff win and what we have to bring in order to win, continue winning in the playoffs. So sucks that we didn't have that reminder for the first game, but, we have it now and, we know how hard it's going to be to continue getting wins.
Eric Wilson on Zoom. Eric.
Allie, congratulations. As you look ahead to your next potential matchup, what are some of the takeaways that you can take from these past 2 games and actually the series in general to kind of motivate you moving forward?
I think just defensive intensity, energy, and just kind of starting off really strong in that first quarter and setting the tone for how you want the game to be.
Next, we'll go to Carly Bell, Marquee. Carly.
Hey, Allie, congratulations again on the win. It looked like veteran experience really kicked in the fourth quarter. What can you just say about yourself, Candace, and Courtney as well, just really kicking it into that fourth, maybe even fifth gear in the fourth quarter for you guys to pull out with the win?
When I see them on the court, I have so much trust in them. I want to live and die with them. So I think that we all just kind of looked at each other and knew that, we can do it. It's going to come from all of us. And that's kind of how we've had our season this year is everyone's kind of stepping up in their moment. And I think that's what happened in the fourth quarter.
And then one other follow-up. Early in the first quarter, Johannes really came out strong with 9 points early, and then you guys just shut her down moving forward. What were those adjustments that were made defensively heading into the second quarter and moving on?
I think it's just like attention to detail. She was getting a lot of them off the handoffs, which is a really hard thing to guard when, the post is going one direction and they hand it off the other. So I think it was just attention to detail and knowing that, when she's coming off, we have to be aggressive with her. So I think we made those adjustments.
Last question as well. After Sabrina had that 5-point play in the fourth quarter, coach called the timeout. What was said in that timeout for you guys to really calm down and make sure that you guys could run away with the win?
I think it was just having extra focus, discipline, and just kind of was like a calming down timeout. We knew they went on a run. It was a great timeout just to kind of stop that momentum and just kind of get back to us. So it was just kind of a way to calm down a little bit.
Thank you, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Mike Hughes, ASAP. Mike.
Hey, Allie, congrats on the win. I was wondering, when you look at game 1 and you look at the loss and that, it kind of ignites a spark into the team and understanding that, nothing is ever promised. For you guys, carrying that momentum into the next series, would you say game 1 was actually more important than not?
Yeah, like I said before, I think it was just kind of a reminder of how you have to play. We kind of played game 1 like a regular season game, and I think game 2 reminded us that, you have to elevate your game in the playoffs. No one's going to get any wins by playing how they did in the regular season, so it was just kind of a wake-up call to continue that energy for the rest of the playoffs.
Thanks, Allie.
Stephen Gardner, Nuts and Bolts. Stephen.
Hey, Allie, congratulations on the win. So you guys have been, of course, doubling down on your defensive efforts, but in turn, you guys have also been taking care of the ball as well as you have all season. 10 turnovers last game and only 9 today. Can you speak to just how much more effective your offense is when you get those efforts defensively and then you take care of the ball to the extent that you guys have of late?
I think everyone's just kind of zoning in individually on their strengths. We all know when, our weakness in terms of turning the ball over, and everyone's just kind of focused on not doing that. So I think it's just an extra level of focus, which is, what you need in the playoffs.
Go in person, middle row, second.
The crowd tonight was loud and kind of right, throwing the blue towels everywhere. Was that did the crowd affect y'all at all? And was it odd playing an elimination game, when you guys finished the season the way you did, not at home?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of knew this was coming with, the playoff format being announced a while ago. So, we just kind of told ourselves that we were in elimination games, a couple times last year. So we mentally got ourselves ready to just win on the road. And we had a pretty good road record this year. And I do remember the crowd at one point and just saw all the towels flying. I'm like, all right, we got to pick it up. We can't let this crowd get into it.
Alexa.
Hey, Allie. Before the game, James was saying that the focus, I guess, going into the series or into tonight was maybe 60-40 defense versus offense. And you guys get so much attention about your offensive identity. How much focus has there been on the defensive end, I guess, this series, across the season, even compared to last year? And is that something that, how is that important for you guys to run it back for the rest of the season?
I think especially in this series, the defense was huge. You saw in the second game that so much of our offense came from our defense in terms of getting steals and transition layups. So we know we're at our best when we're getting stops and able to play free and not play in the half court. So that's something we're going to try to continue for, the rest of the playoffs, just to let defense kind of dictate our offense.
Last one.
Allie, are you a fan of this playoff format? Do you think it's fair? Like for the higher seed to have this elimination game on the road so quickly?
I mean, I think the best is like 1-1-1, but I understand what they're trying to do with like travel and everything, but I would prefer 1-1-1.
And then real quick, as players enter the offseason here, what advice would you give to a young player who is choosing to play overseas during the offseason? As far as
like a
picking,
rookie or something?
Yeah, a young person who's maybe signing their first or second overseas contract and, is making that choice. What advice would you give them?
I would just say be a sponge and really try to learn the European style. I learned a lot in Europe from different coaches and older players. You have a lot of practice time over there, so just continue to learn and just get better.
Any more questions for Allie? All right. Thank you, Allie.
Thank you.